What's going on to all my people out there in YouTube land and also in Facebook land too? Well, today I wanted to get on a couple of subjects and talk about a couple of things as far as this inflation shit. I came up with a way on how to actually beat. Well, I'm not gonna say beat, but maintain, you know, economical function, strong economical function within the household through this period of 7% inflation. So this inflation shit that I'm finna get ready to explain to y'all, I'm do it the best way that I know how, as far as breaking it down in street terminology. All right. Now, if it look like that I'm looking this way, it's because I got the camera set long ways on the damn desk. But anyway, I got 16 minutes and 30 seconds, so I'm gonna try to get as much of this shit out as possible. I hope, you know what I'm saying, that y'all would subscribe to the channel, because it's a lot of jewels that's gonna be dropped. And a lot of these things, as far as money management, I ended up working out for myself with an applying, you know what I'm saying, these methods and techniques that I done came up with. So I've already experimented with these. All I ask is that if you don't believe that they work, you try them yourself and you see how it works out. But I know that what I'm explaining on here and what I got down on paper and how I mathematically laid everything out and sectioned everything off, that this shit does work. Now, this is not a get rich quick shit. This is, you control the damage control over time. What I bring to the table is to show you how you can militarize your dollars to protect you more than it's going against you. That way you can keep your money in your house longer, and that way that you won't be too bothered by inflation. So here it is, I'm gonna explain it. All right. Now, it first starts with the smallest bill in your house. All right. A lot of people have a lot of hole leaks within their money that's being leaked out. All right. And what I mean is that it's dollars that are going different places that you don't even see. A lot of people don't keep their receipts or none of that shit. They don't count or itemize everything in their house. All right. So you got your telephone bill, you got your food, you got your lights, you have your rent, you have your car note. You understand what I'm saying? You have your health insurance, etc., etc., etc. Now, I don't know how many of y'all look at Dave Ramsey, right? But his system is a good system if you're very serious with getting yourself out of debt. So I want y'all to go out and look up Dave Ramsey. You understand what I'm saying? And look at how the way that he had the 7 baby steps. That was a system that he created, but there's many others out there. You can combine his system with various other different systems. All of it work towards making your money work for you instead of working against you. So we go with the smallest bill. The average smallest bill is like $60 as far as a telephone. I tell people all the time, all your bills between the telephone, your car insurance, and your electric, you need to pay those up at 2 to 3 months, 5 to 6 months at a time. And I'm going to tell you why. Let's just say your phone bill is $60 a month, and you pay the phone bill up for 5 months. That's about maybe $600 and something that you don't have to pay within the next 6 months, and you can roll that money over. All right. So you start with your smallest bill. After you start with your smallest bill, you understand what I'm saying? The infrastructure of, and I'm grabbing my notebook, the infrastructure on how you have things together should be shaped like this. That's how it should be shaped by the time you get finished. Now I'm going to tie all that in together. All right, you have to octopus this. Your income is your wealth building tool. That's your income. You make sure that you don't have anything that could compromise that. So if you got debt, make sure that you're throwing a percentage towards the debt that you may have. Make sure you pay yourself. You understand what I'm saying? So right here, I put 4%. I gained 4% off my policy. I gained 50%, 0.50% on the Chime account because I do online banking. I have my Robinhood account. I have my joint account. I have my 2% bonds. I have, I make 16% off the S&P 500, and the stock market pays about 10.2%. 6 months of expenses I have set aside. I always make sure that I keep operational money on the Visa card, or just keep money on the Visa card for just in case. PD means I pay myself. All right. I have an OPR fund, which is an operational fund, and I have an E fund, which is an emergency fund. You have to infrastructure your household like this. If you do not do that, you will not see where a lot of your cash is going. Your money are like little fucking soldiers. You understand what I'm saying? And every dollar has a responsibility. And of course, when you hear some of the other gurus talk, they're going to talk about that. All right? My thing is this. If you have your money set up like that, or if you have an infrastructure like that set up, the same way as this, all right, I'm going to show it one more time. If you have your infrastructure set up like this, I can guarantee that inflation is not going to bother you, because that money is locked into your financial system in the house, which we are creating systems within systems as far as cash management. So you need more cash output. You need to not sit on anything. These monies have to have responsibility. So soon as you get paid, you fragment that shit up and send that shit right back out. As fast as you get it, as fast as you let it go, so that way as fast as you can get it again. I don't know if that makes any sense to y'all, but that's what that shit is. All right. Now, when you start snowballing and paying one of the smaller bills up, if you notice, you ain't got to pay the phone bill now. Now you move to your electric bill. You do the same thing, they give you a credit. All right, it's nothing wrong with it paying months ahead of time. All right. I employ that y'all actually pay your bills months ahead of time, because you re-putting that shit back into the infrastructure. It's taking care of the services that you need. That month-to-month shit is for the birds. Fuck that. Pay everything up front. When you pay everything up front, they don't want you to do that. They have this every 30-day shit, because you can easily get into debt. You can easily get into debt with the every 30-day, especially for those who overextend themselves. Now, I will say this. You pay both of those bills up, right, for about 5 months apiece. You free yourself up. However much that you save on both of those, you take that same amount that you save on both of those and roll it over to the next bill. And what will happen is that it'll formulate a snowball, and it'll start to take care of itself. All right? So as your income coming in simultaneously while you're doing this, you are actually paying up shit for like almost half of the year. So they give you a half a year worth of credits. Meanwhile, you are able to save, okay? And you could save, but I only would save for an emergency fund and put that there. You always want to have 6 months of expenses for your emergency fund. That's exactly what it is. 6 months of your expenses. All right. You could do about $300 a month, $400 a month, the same amount that you pay for a car note. You can have an account, an online banking account, and I say use online banking, and I would prefer that y'all use Chime. All right, because it don't come with no extra fees or none of that shit, and it's online, and these banks don't overcharge you no maintenance fees or whatever like that, and they won't tax your ass. You understand what I'm saying? So use an online bank card, use a Green Dot card or whatever to keep this money on. You understand what I'm saying? All right. Now, you could have I'll just say realistically, like $5,000 in there on that card. And that $5,000 is for any fucking mistake that may happen. You may have something that need to immediately get fixed. A family member may need help with something. Moms may need some money. Something may happen. Whereas though now it's not a real big thing, it's just an issue because the money is there. All right? You may get laid off on your job. You have 5 months worth of expenses that could help you still pay the rent and function while you're working, or while you're trying to find another job, or while you're working to find another job, excuse me. So, with that being said, if you look at it, we have to have different shelters for our money to manage it correctly. It's just like any company or corporation. When you get your profits in, you cut the pie up into many different slices, so that way each category could get its own funding. Okay? Same way how they take taxes out on you. They've been running this system for a long time, but they never taught us to apply this shit within the household. And that's where it starts, because before you even get rich, you have to know how to manage your house. If you ain't got that shit in order, you can't help nobody else out. One thing about my channel that I'm going to get into today, all right, is how to structure and militarize all your resources to where as though it protects you and help you run within this system, so that way that you can stay afloat. At this moment right now, it's not wise for anybody to sit on any money. Don't save nothing. Have your emergency fund. Fuck a savings account. Invest. Have your emergency fund. You understand what I'm saying? Have your investments. Operate on the rest. Pay yourself. Online banking. Or even put your money in certificates and bonds and shit. Or put it into the stock market. That's the main thing. Because the weaker the dollar gets, and see, one thing about the American dollar that you have to understand, that shit has to move around. Because the more it sits, the more weaker it is, because it ain't really backed by nothing. So I'm employing all you guys to do this, to set up a structure. And the more you pay your bills, the more you invest into the infrastructure. All right? So you meet the blunt force at the door. That's what I'm saying. Stay broke. You really ain't broke, but stay broke. Because, and what I mean by stay broke is, once when it come in, pay the bills up. Don't sit on nothing. Stimulate all your categories, like I said, and keep working. You be able to control the rate of what's going out and what's coming in. And your purchasing power will become stronger. I can guarantee this, whether you're getting taxed or not, because you're paying into the infrastructure. See, what they don't tell you is that if you pay everything up, you don't owe nobody. They all have to serve you. And the only way to do that is to make sure that all of your inventory in the house is up. You know what I'm saying? Make sure all the inventory and shit is up in the house. Itemize everything in the house. All right? Cut out certain different things. You understand what I'm saying? And you'll see the money being right there, because then you'll start to notice that you'll have more cash to do more stuff with. The more cash you got, the more that you can operate. The more cash you got, the more that you can hire other people to operate for you. Now, some, you know what I mean, you may have to lower your prices some and include the barter system some into what you're doing because of how high the inflation is. But if you can get the labor at a decent cost where certain motherfuckers can make a living, we good. We good. You understand what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is to y'all, because I got 30 seconds left, is that we talking about octopusing the money and militarizing the money to where as though it protects the household and stays in the household for a long period of time by creating these categories and which I said. You understand what I'm saying? So I come back to say this again, that you have to have a structure like this. Okay? Peace and love, y'all.